And with Halloween just 5 days away, we know that this year is going to look a little different than usual. As coronavirus cases surge across the country, some cities are banning parades and trick-or-treating. So how can you celebrate safely? Here's Eva Pilgrim.
Halloween may not be canceled, but it's going to look a lot different this year.
We don't want door-to-door trick-or-treating, period.
El Paso, in the midst of a coronavirus surge, tamping down Halloween plans. The city seeing close to 11,000 active cases, hospitals beyond their max, now asking people to stay home for the next 2 weeks to reduce the spread and ease the strain on the hospitals. Beverly Hills approving an urgency ordinance banning trick-or-treating, restricting giving candy, treats, or toys to anyone not in your household, warning rule breakers will be issued citations.
I understand that the disappointment that all children have, but even though it was a difficult decision, it really was the right decision to make in this day and time.
Cities in at least 37 states changing some of their Halloween plans, most canceling community events.
It's very high risk. I do consider it high risk.
In New York City, the city's Halloween parade that usually draws some 50,000 people called off. The mayor saying no to inside trick-or-treating this year.
Thank you.
The CDC putting out a guideline warning people to avoid high-risk Halloween activities like door-to-door trick-or-treating or car-to-car trunk-or-treating, indoor costume parties or haunted houses, and hay rides with people who are not in your household.
Trick or treat! Smell my feet! Give me something good to eat!
Instead, the CDC encouraging people to try lower risk plans like socially distanced pumpkin carving, Halloween scavenger hunts, and if you want to trick or treat, try the one-way version where you pick up wrapped goodie bags lined up at the end of a driveway or edge of a yard.
Now, experts say if you are planning to dress up, think about your costume. You don't want to wear just a generic costume mask. You want to make sure you have a two-fabric cotton mask, either incorporate it into your costume or just get a Halloween-themed mask to wear. Diane?
All right, Eva Pilgrim, good tips there. Thank you. And for more, I'm joined by ABC News contributor Dr. John Brownstein. Good morning, Dr. Brownstein. Is there a way to trick-or-treat safely this Halloween?
Yeah, so we have to remember this virus is still not under control, right? So we don't want Halloween to be this major event that brings more cases through this country, right? So we have to think about the things that we've been thinking about throughout this pandemic. Social distancing, mask wearing, keeping activities outside, reducing group size. So yeah, it's been a long road, but we want kids to have an enjoyable Halloween. And there are ways to do trick-or-treating in the ways that might be safer. One-way trick-or-treating, parades, scavenger hunts. We just want to avoid these large group settings, especially inside. But we also want to think about sort of underlying context in the community. Places like El Paso experiencing a massive surge. So really listen to public health. If they're giving guidance, really try to adhere to those guidances.
And for anyone who does go trick-or-treating, what precautions should you take? Do you have to wipe down the candy when you get home? What do you need to do?
Yeah, so we really have to be worried here about pandemic fatigue. We're asking a lot of people, and there's this concept of hygiene theater. Are we just going a bit overboard? We know that surface contact isn't a major mode of transmission, so wiping down candy, it's a bit excessive, it's not under the CDC guidelines, and it's just gonna take people away from what's important, right? Hand washing is still important. You know, we know that respiratory droplets and aerosols are the important transmission, so you gotta reduce the numbers of contacts. Those are the things to focus on, and try to not be so excessive beyond that.
And what are the most important things to remember as families get ready for Halloween and maybe some of the other holidays? What are your kind of 3 top tips in terms of helping us to prioritize? So we know we don't have to wash the candy. What's more important?
Okay. All right, so more important than washing the candy. So avoid high-risk activities. So right, the traditional door-to-door trick-or-treating is just probably not on the cards for most people this year. You want to avoid indoor gatherings, right? So the costume parties, haunted houses, really you want to stay outside. And so focus in on those those lower risk outside activities, right? So the costume parades, pumpkin carving outdoors, scavenger hunts, and these sort of new concepts like one-way trick-or-treating. All those types of activities are much lower risk and will reduce transmission in the community.
All right, Dr. Brownstein, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.